Hello again, friends. Chef Jacques here. In 2024, my wife Yiqun and I had the opportunity to travel to Panama and visit their famous waterway. This video will tell you facts the US media will not bother to tell you about. Oh, make sure to watch until the end so you do not miss anything. We are about to embark on our tour boat, the Pacific Queen, to visit the famous and world-renowned canal. Now, all aboard!
Hola, gracias. Gracias.
It is the French in 1881 that began the canal's construction under the leadership of ex-diplomat Ferdinand de Lesseps, who had previously developed the Suez Canal in Egypt. To keep this video as short as possible with only the most important facts, I will leave a few links for more detailed information in the description area. Unfortunately, the French company ran into many obstacles and problems. De Lesseps realized that contrary to the Suez Canal joining the Mediterranean Sea to the Red Sea, both on the same level, the Pacific and the Atlantic Oceans are not at the same level, but more on this later in the video. The French engineer Gustave Eiffel, designer of the famous Paris landmark in France, was hired to design a lock and dam system for the canal. However, the De Lesseps company went bankrupt in 1889. By then, France and many investors had sunk in more than the equivalent of 260 million US dollars, or close to 290 million euros into the venture. At that time, the US was looking for a canal linking the Atlantic to the Pacific for both economic and strategic reasons. In the late 1980s, another French engineer with experience in both previous French canal projects, Philippe Jean Bunau-Varilla, began lobbying US lawmakers to purchase the French canal assets in Panama. If you like this video or some of my other works, please subscribe, like, share, and click on the notification bell. It is all free. The US Congress authorized the purchase of the French project in 1902. However, the following year, Colombia, which Panama was then part of, refused to sign the agreements for the US to build a canal. The Panamanians, encouraged by Bunau-Varilla and with the tacit support of US President Theodore Roosevelt, revolted and seceded from Colombia and gained their independence. The newly formed Panamanian government signed a deal with the US, allowing the project to proceed in 1904. Completion of the canal with the help of newly available technology will take the US another 10 years and 400 million US dollars to complete the canal. More than 25,000 workers died during the canal's construction. Over 20,000 perished during the French phase and more than 5,000 during the US phase of the project. Most deaths related to harsh, hot, humid conditions, the jungle and its creatures, rats carrying the bubonic plague, and mosquitoes spreading yellow fever and malaria. Before the canal, ships had to sail around the tip of South America, Cape Horn, to back up on the other side, traveling around 12,500 miles, 20,000 kilometers. Now, the canal's shortcut saves weeks of navigation. It takes only 8 to 10 hours or a full day to navigate the 50 miles or 77 kilometers from the Atlantic to the Pacific Ocean, or the other way around. My lovely wife Yiqun taking a selfie. Between 13,000 and 14,000 ships use the canal annually. The US transferred control of the canal to Panama in 1999. The American Society of Civil Engineers has dubbed the Panama Canal one of the 7 wonders of the modern world. It's one of the largest and most difficult engineering projects ever undertaken. Our boat's flag, the Pacific Queen. The canal was expanded in 2016 to handle today's mega ships. A system of locks at each end of the canal lifts ships up to 85 feet or 26 meters above sea level to an artificial lake. Ships traverse this lake, as well as a series of improved and artificial channels, and then are lowered again in more locks to sea level on the other side. More than 1 million ships have navigated through the canal since its opening. The powerful tugboat that helps the large vessels travel safely through the canal. We are now approaching the first of 3 locks that will take us back down to the level of the Pacific Ocean. Between 13,000 and 14,000 ships use the canal annually. You now see the gates opening up to let our boat get in the lock. The toll set by the Panama Canal Authority depends on ship size, type, content, and volume of cargo. The largest cargo ships pay around $450,000. We are now in the lock, waiting for the water to bring us back down closer to the level of the Pacific Ocean. The equivalent of $2 billion, €1,925,000,000 in tolls are collected each year. This is the control building of the Pedro Miguel lock on the Pacific Ocean side. Since our boat is rather small, we are sharing our lock with a much larger container ship. Now approaching another lock. These are the electric trains called mules that will gently tow the larger boat cargo ships within the narrow locks. We are now approaching the Miraflores Visitor Center, the yellow building on the left, close to the Pacific Ocean, where visitors, mostly tourists from all over the world, can watch the lock's operation. Now mooring the Pacific Queen in the lock. This is the Miraflores Locks Control Building. Tourists watching us from the balcony of the Miraflores Visitor Center. Behind the trees you can see containers on one of those mega ships in a new wider lock created more recently to accommodate their extra size. Now let us go to the stern or the rear of our boat to take a look at the container ship behind us sharing our lock.
Permiso, excuse, disculpa. It's not going to bump into us, huh?
Now you clearly see the little amount of space between the side of the cargo ship and the wall of the lock. And now those mules, electric train, safely towing the cargo ship. Now, if you pay close attention to the level of the water against the gate, you will notice the level going down before the gates open to let us through. Of course, this took much longer in real time. The bell you hear now is announcing the imminent opening of the lock's gate. Now the gates are opening. The gentleman is releasing the mooring rope of the Pacific Queen. We're about to get moving as soon as the gates are fully open. It's a miracle.
Gates are opening.
So, did you know the French were that involved with the constructions of the Panama Canal? What do you think? Should the French reclaim the canal? Let me know what you think in the comments below. What an amazing and unforgettable experience. And we are now slowly moving forward.
Oh, we're sliding down. Look at that. Yeah.
Oh, did I mention that we traveled on this very special day?
Happy Father's Day!
The level of the water from the lock brought us back down closer to the level of the ocean we are about to go to. Here you can see very well the high level of water against the lock's gate. Getting close to the last set of gates. That will bring us back down to the level of the Pacific Ocean.
Just strictly bigger ships in the daytime and smaller ships at night.
Water's going down.
Again, same process. You can see the water level lowering, and that will come to the level of the ocean right behind those gates. Here comes the bell again, announcing the opening of the gate. It will be soon time to unmoor the boat and get to the Pacific Ocean.
Workers to get out the top of the gates, which are sometimes used as bridges. And in a short moment here, if you're in the front of the vessel, you might want to hold your horn.
Pacific Ocean, here we come. While I managed to keep this video under 15 minutes, this amazing experience was over 4 hours long, half a day. Getting a little windy here. Many people are working hard to ensure we have a safe passage through the canal.
The big ball.
Coming out of the canal on the Pacific Ocean, we can see the Bridge of the Americas connecting the North and the South American land masses. A portion of Panama City skyline and the famous Jiao Museo with its colorful roofline. Specialized local pilots, also called Panama Canal pilots, board most large vessels about to traverse the canal to guide them through the waterway and its narrow locks. Now that our Pacific Queen has exited the canal, our pilot guide is done and is being retrieved under the applause of us all. He will then be taken to his home destination or his next mission. I hope you enjoyed discovering more facts about the Panama Canal. A million thanks again for watching. Please let me know in the comment section below what you did like best about this video. Also, share with us where you are from and where was your best trip ever. See you soon.